Here she is, feisty as ever,
Hello,
Liza Page.
Are we in the dark here?
It's a little bit dark, but it's all right. It can be seen.
Okay, let's get on with it. How are you doing?
All right. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Yes, fine.
You've been working hard all week, I know, and you've got some fabulous stories.
Yeah, a rainy day yesterday. I don't do well on rainy days. I get very depressed. Anyway, the sun's out today, so here we are.
And it wasn't first thing this morning, I'll tell you.
No, it was pouring, wasn't it?
It was. It's pretty miserable.
Yeah, we got a new place here. We're at the Black Horse. I know this place very well indeed.
Oh. Well, we've just had Declan on, who's been really very kind to us. Made us feel welcome.
Declan, I've known a long time. He's a lovely man.
Indeed, he is.
So gentle, very, very nice. So, what have you been up to, Keith?
Well, you know me. I'm obsessed with this television station, and I'm happy to say that bit by bit we keep on nudging ahead. And on Wednesday we've got a new contributor on artificial intelligence. And we were just saying this morning is when people say AI, be careful that you don't think that it's artificial insemination.
Exactly. Well, there's not a lot of difference as far as I'm concerned with what they're doing with it.
Right. So what have you got up your sleeve?
Germany. Okay, here we go. Germany just destroyed freedom of speech. Germany is killing free speech in the name of killing anti-Semitism. In Germany, it is now punishable to criticize Israel, and police are watching pro-Palestinian rallies closely to make sure they don't have to arrest anyone who wants to speak for peace. You'd better not. Does this erosion of civil liberties make us safer, do you think?
Well, the fact of the matter is, of course, is that, as I understand it, that's exactly what Rishi Sunak is going to talk to the Met Police Commissioner about today.
Really?
Is doing it here. What they're saying is that that they want to stop violence and so on. How the hell do you know before a parade is or a demonstration is going whether it's going to be violent or not?
Oh, but they will know because they've got the thought police. If you're just thinking of being violent, then they will arrest you.
That's good enough. Then we'd better watch out. You're quite right. We'd better make for the hills.
I just won't go, darling. No, I build all on their own. Okay. Right, now then, this is very, very interesting. Israel, I did this last week. Israel is known as the LGBTQ capital of the world. I didn't know that, did you?
No, I have seen references to the fact that it seems to have had quite a bit to do with them. But why?
Yeah, why? And did they just destroy that image, it says here? Israel has spent billions of dollars trying to rebrand itself as a progressive place that is more than just a war zone. They hired a practically naked girl called Gal Gadot and marketed themselves as a gay haven. The Jerusalem Post calls Tel Aviv the gay capital of the world. So does all that now go down the drain?
It is difficult, isn't it? The trouble is that everybody jumps onto this LGBTQ bandwagon. Is because I was in Budapest half a dozen years ago. It was supposed to be the gay capital of the world.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then there are other places that say they're the gay capital of the world. So either it's very transient or there are a number of pretenders to the throne.
I see. I didn't know that, but what do I know?
Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is you highlighting this is very important because do we take it seriously or don't we?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And it finished with now that they have full-fledged war against Hamas. So does it all go down the drain? Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we will. Yes. What's your guess?
My guess is I think things are going to end very, very badly for Israel. I really do. I think we're on the brink now of World War III. I think they thought they were going to get far more support than they're getting, and people are getting tired and too much trouble that they don't want to know. It's come on, let them get on with it. You know.
Yeah.
This is what I sense, and
I think there's a certain amount of ambience, if that's the right word. No, it's not the right word, but you know what I mean. Is that you are your thoughts are probably in line with what is beginning to happen. People are fed up with war. They're fed up with anti-Semitism. They're fed up with all sorts of things, and there's the consequences. It's not that we're anti. People aren't necessarily anti, but they are just I don't care anymore.
Yeah. No, it's not going the way they thought it was going to go. The support that Netanyahu thought he was going to get from the world hasn't turned out that way, and I think that's probably because he let them in. There is no doubt about that. Europe will be next. Netanyahu warns. No one will be safe if the Middle East falls to Iran's axis of terror and insists Israel is engaged in global battle. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has called on the world to back his fight against Hamas, claiming that Israel is engaged in a global battle against an Iran-led axis of terror. The 74-year-old world leader said that Israel's deadliest conflict with Hamas in decades is a broader battle between civilization and barbarianism, led by Iran and backed by Hezbollah. Have I got that right?
Yes.
Hamas and Houthi rebels. They seek to bring the Middle East and the world back into the Dark Ages. They seek to torpedo, to derail and progress towards peace and progress and promise of peace we had in our budding treaties with our Arab neighbors, he claimed in a press conference. Listen, yeah. This is very interesting, Keith. Jews are joining anti-war protests with Palestinians, and the media are hiding it. The mainstream media is ignoring the pro-peace voice of Jewish people, but they do exist. Jews who are speaking out against the war are being ignored by the press. There are many, many more all over the world, but the mainstream media gives little moment.
Right, now who's saying this?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, we need to know to see whether it's got any credibility.
Yeah.
I mean, I am worried, and in fact, I said this morning in my review of the papers that media is owned by some of the people that you really fight against, is the people with lots of money and so on and so forth,
Yeah,
and therefore
sure.
opinions are loaded.
I'm very sure. Listen, we can trust no one, Keith.
No, true.
We can trust
But I mean, nonetheless, trust or not, that they can have a big influence if, in fact, these sort of stories come out and they prove to be fallacious.
Well, the Jews, 40% of them have been demonstrating in Israel against this war. They don't want it.
Right.
I mean, this is common knowledge on the internet. So this would not surprise me at all, but I'll get it for you.
Yeah, good. Well done.
Honest reporting, this is where this comes from. Scoop. What were AP, Reuters, CNN, and New York Times, Gaz freelance photographers doing inside Israel on October the 7th? Coincidence, or were they part of the plan? Photographers Without Borders, AP and Reuters pictures of Hamas atrocities on October the 7th. Hamas terrorists were not the only ones who documented the war crimes they had committed, during their deadly rampage across. So these journalists working for major outlets knew the Hamas attack was coming, and they were embedded with them as they entered Israel. But the Israel government and its state-of-art military and surveillance network didn't know. Strange. The obvious question from the start has been, why were the attacks allowed to happen? The answer is that your government doesn't represent you Jewish people. It represents the satanic global cult, just like the real leaders of Hamas. And the attacks were facilitated to trigger current events and a wider conflict. Many Jewish people are now waking up to what David Icke has been writing for decades and has been labeled anti-Semitic for his trouble.
Right. Now, who's saying this?
David Icke channel.
Right. Okay.
On his channel.
Yeah. I mean, let's attribute it so that people know where the source of
absolutely.
this material.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, I think that you and I have been saying some of it. We can attribute it to our own assessment. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just that when we make a statement, we've got to make sure that it's either ours or it's somebody else's.
Yeah.
If it's somebody else's, we've got to say whose it is.
It's David.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. There we go. Jewish society was hijacked long ago by the Sabbatean cult, see Netanyahu, that hates Jewish people, which explains why the attacks were allowed to happen. Okay. This I like very much.
Right.
From Lawyers of Light. Because it resonates. Why are we paying taxes to fund our government in assisting other countries to commit international law violations and the murder of innocent people, which legitimate organizations are calling genocide? This is a genuine question. I do not want to be guilty of aiding and abetting such atrocious crimes, and I'm afraid we all are if we continue to pay our governments. The same applies to funding government to release an experimental and dangerous jab on people. These are clear crimes that I do not want to be a part of or finance, and it is in fact unlawful to do so. I would add, why are we continuing to fund our government to imprison us? Not bad.
Yeah. Now, who is the I? You?
Huh?
Who's the I?
I.
She says, I don't want. Who's I?
This is from Lawyers of Light.
Ah, right. So
Yes.
You better explain who Lawyers of Light are. I've never heard of them before.
No, they're on the internet.
Right.
They're on one of the channels. It's the Epoch's channel, I think, and they put that up.
All right, yeah. Where are they based?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, we should find those things out.
It's very difficult sometimes
I know.
to find these things out, I promise you.
Yeah, but I mean, all I'm saying is if it's not us saying it, we've got to say who we're quoting. That's all. So since
I think I'd like to say I said that. I really do.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd
by
like
all
to,
means,
I'd
endorse
very
it.
much like to endorse that.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant.
Okay. Right, then the I is you.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah.
Right.
And
okay.
I'm sure the
I'm trying to
person that
dump her in
wrote it will forgive me. But next week I'll say that I have plagiarized his material.
Yeah, no, it's not. No. Let's be quite clear. You wouldn't be guilty of plagiarism if, in fact, you read something and then you consider it and you look at the evidence yourself. It's quite legitimate for you to say I. You wouldn't be actually plagiarizing at all. What you would be doing is endorsing, which is a different thing altogether. And this, you can quite legitimately endorse some of this stuff that you find.
Yeah.
No problem there at all.
David Sorensen, Stop World Control. A lot of respect for this man.
Right. Yeah. Now, this man you do have a lot of respect for. So tell us again who he is.
David Sorensen runs a channel called Stop World Control,
Right.
and he is continually taken off. He had a heart attack and a hell of a lot of stress.
Now, when you say taken off what? Social media or
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And now a lot of stress, and now he's got himself back.
Right.
And I'm so happy because it's an incredibly powerful channel that exposes the Netherlands for this child abuse and the dreadful things that are going on.
Right.
How the WHO grooms children for paedophiles in public schools worldwide. Mutilation of children. Teachers feel guilty if they don't go along with this. These people have no boundaries.
Right. So that's David Sorensen.
Sorensen,
and
yes.
his channel, and he's quoted as saying that.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you
In
have
no uncertain terms.
and you have alluded to some of the things that are happening in schools
Absolutely.
to
Yes.
children. So he's backing this up
Yes.
and actually taking it one step further. I would have thought. Would you agree?
1,000% he's taking it up.
Yeah.
Because these people, while they're paying all this attention to the Israeli war, the WHO and WEF are getting more and more powerful underneath the radar there. And it's petrifying, absolutely petrifying. Germany just destroyed freedom of speech. Did I read that?
Yes, you did, but I can't stress enough that anything worthwhile bears repeating. People do not remember the first time that they're told things.
Yes. Well, this is off the Approach channel,
Yeah.
which I subscribe to. Germany just destroyed freedom of speech. Germany is killing free speech in the name of killing anti-Semitism. In Germany, it is now punishable to criticize Israel, and police are watching pro-Palestinian rallies closely to make sure they don't have to arrest anyone who wants to speak for peace. You'd better not. So this erosion of civil liberties makes us safer, does it?
Yeah, well,
Would you feel safer if people didn't say anything against Israel?
any erosion of freedom of speech, in my view, except for calumny, they said, is just doing it because you feel like it. That's not acceptable. But other than that, then we must be very careful that we don't, in the name of trying to save people, start to tamper with the basic human endeavor of speaking freely.
Are people allowed an opinion? I don't think they are anymore, are they?
Well, it's becoming more and more difficult, that's for sure.
Yeah, very, very difficult.
Yeah, okay.
Anthony Fauci.
He's
How
one of
quickly
yours,
one of my very favorite. Yeah, Anthony Fauci, the little elf, has committed so many atrocities, and how the man is walking around and not arrested, I have no idea. But this is the world we are living in today. Got a lot of money, you get away with anything. Fauci declares lockdown was absolutely justified and suggests they should use it again to force vaccinations.
Yes.
FDA approves RSV shots for pregnant women, and groups push HPV vaccines for 9-year-olds. Now, then this is from my lovely Vernon Coleman, Dr. Vernon Coleman. It is worth remembering that thousands of years ago, it was discovered that forcing people to wear masks, covering much of their face, broke their spirit and made them subservient. The masks depersonalized the wearer and dehumanized them too. The rules about masks for children are likely to get tougher as cowardly child abusing teachers demand that the CIA approved torture techniques be more severe. Today, there is no doubt that the evil agenda is widespread. The Agenda 21 enthusiasts are gloating. The common purpose aficionados, having spread like Japanese knotweed, seem to have their grubby fingers scrubbing through every organization on earth. Of course, neither the media nor the general public are aware of all this, and their dishonesty and gullibility is threatening our very survival as human beings. That is absolutely no exaggeration. Thank you very much, Bert. Okay, Europe will be next. Netanyahu warns no one will be safe if the Middle East falls to Iran's axis of terror and insists Israel is engaged in a global battle. Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu has called on the world to back his fight against Hamas, claiming that Israel is engaged in a global battle against an Iran-led axis of terror. The 74-year-old world leader said that Israel's deadliest conflict with Hamas in decades is a broader battle between civilization and barbarism led by Iran and backed by Hezbollah, Hamas, and Houthi rebels. They seek to bring the Middle East and the world back into the Dark Ages. They seek to torpedo, to derail and progress towards peace and the progress and promise of peace we had in our budding treaties. With our Arab neighbors, he claimed in a press conference today. Yeah, this is a nice little one. A lady called Kimberly Fletcher works out of America, and she calls her organization Mums for America. Go to the Epoch Times and you will read all about her. She says how schools are teaching children to hate their country, their neighbors, and themselves. Moms, M-O-M-S, Moms for America. Kimberly Fletcher, good luck to you.
Okay, would you read that story again? Because that again I find ominous.
Kimberly Fletcher. How schools
Who's
are...
Kimberly Fletcher?
Kimberly Fletcher is an American lady who's interviewed on American television.
Right.
Rather internet. Did a big thing on her. Mums for America.
Right, okay.
Organization.
So primarily she's appearing as a mum.
Mum,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
mum, mother, like mothers,
Yeah.
Moms for America. And she's trying to get the message out how schools are teaching children to hate their country, their neighbors, and themselves. Go to Epoch's Times and you can see her interview on there. Kimberly Fletcher. Very nice lady. Do like people to try. What do we got here? War is just condoned slaughter of human beings. I like that.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say I said that.
Why not? It's not a bad quote.
Oh, Irish MP Claire Daly gave a brilliant speech in Irish Parliament on the weekend.
Right.
Oh, you got to turn this woman on. She was brilliant. She's still just on the internet. They haven't taken her off
What did
yet.
she say?
Claire Daly. She's tore that terrible woman Van der Leyen apart.
Right.
For saying, be careful.
Is she a journalist? Oh, no, she's an MP.
MP.
Ah, right, yeah.
Claire Daly. Yeah. Powerful Irish lady.
Right.
That puts it where it's at. I tell you, big fan of hers. And she tore to ribbons Wanda van der Leyen for
Yes,
what
I
she
think
said.
she is, yeah.
Do your best not to hit children and civilians. That's all she had to say. Oh, turn her on. I'm sure they've probably taken her off by now because it's so powerful. You can see her on the David Icke channel. Go to davidicke.com and you'll see this lovely lady, Claire Daly, smashing. She's all woman, I tell you. Sunak backs Braverman. Well, they did sacks Braverman, Home Secretary. Was that in the papers today?
Well, he hadn't sacked her as I was reading the headlines this morning. Has he sacked her this morning?
It said, yes, on the internet, it said she's got the tin tack.
Yeah, you see, that's where we have to be very careful without checking. Is according to the papers this morning, he hasn't. So it's in the balance. So
Okay, well, I'll
yeah.
apologise next time
No,
if I'm too on this.
No, you haven't quoted it yet. You're saying that that was a headline in the over the weekend.
Today.
Today.
Mm.
At what time?
Oh dear, about 8 o'clock.
Okay,
So it didn't make the papers, did it?
It could easily be because what we do is we deal in the front pages.
Yes, I
which
thought
are
maybe
about
I
to
thought
come
maybe
off
it
at
was
2
already
o'clock.
on the papers.
No, it may have happened. I mean, all I'm doing is I'm questioning things. That's all. I'm not saying they're wrong. Right, well, that's one that has taken me a bit by surprise. But I'm going on old information, 3 or 4 hours old.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm stuck here. I can't go tearing around.
No, child, you're doing enough.
Yeah, right.
You are doing enough.
I'm not being defensive. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I want to make sure that something that I haven't heard is actually true. Yeah, good.
Israel. Listen to this. This is a little gem. Israel seeking to appoint Tony Blair as humanitarian for as Gaza. Israel seeking to appoint Tony Blair as Gaza humanitarian coordinator.
Yeah. See, that's the way. This is where you really do get at the heart of what's wrong with the establishment. Is Tony's looking for a job? How much is it paid? Right. Okay. Put his name up. I mean, this is all wrong. And it really gets to the heart of how we appoint people to. I was just thinking the other day, actually, the way to get into the House of Lords or to get an honour or whatever is, excuse the expression, but it's to fuck up. And the bigger you actually F up, the more important your honour. In other words, the big F ups, you become lords, and so on. It comes down.
They've got the money; they buy these positions.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it takes a few.
And that is a very good.
And have you noticed how many baronesses there are around today? Huh? Baroness this and baroness that.
Yeah. Most of them have had their fingers in the till.
Now this one is very, very important. It's very important and very disappointing. It's called the ARC, the Ark, like the animals went into the button. The Reliance for Responsible Citizenship, ARC. Now this looked like being something very good because they wanted to challenge this new world order that is coming in.
You sure it's Reliance and not Alliance?
Reliance for Responsible Citizenship.
Yeah, but it's ARC. What does the A stand for? I think it may be Alliance.
Maybe, yeah, probably. Yeah, now this could have been something very, very good because these very wealthy people wanted to challenge this new world order,
right?
Which is the WEF and the WHO,
yeah,
and these unelected people that have seemed to have taken over our country and pretty much a lot of other countries too. Our government and our king has let these people in, and they are disgusting. Now then, a guy called Jordan Peterson, who I didn't dislike. I thought he got into some trouble in Canada, and they punished him there. Well, I know what I think of Canada. So I gave him a try. I found he uses, like a lot of these presenters, they use a hell of a lot of long words when a little teeny one would do.
Right.
That's to make themselves sound educated.
Yeah, and they lose all sense of communication.
Absolutely.
The key point about situation communication is kiss. Right? Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. Yes, and I find it
Key
more
principle.
and more, more and more. And now I don't even bother to get a dictionary to, find out what these are. I can't be bothered. My life's too short. But that's what it is, and he is one of these. Max Hurd was rather a fan of his. He said he was good for young boys, teaching them to become men, like clean your room up, stand up straight, be a man, all that sort of stuff. Max said he was rather good, so I gave him some time and attention. Okay, fine. Rambles on and a bit boring. Anyway.
So not controversial, but boring.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, boring.
Yeah, it's a pity.
And then he got sick or something and went to Russia. He was addicted to some medication, I think, or something like that, and they cured him in Russia. I think they also turned his brain, because he came back and was sitting there with Netanyahu when these atrocious people charged in, and he said, yeah, give them hell, give them hell. He sucking up to Netanyahu, you see. Now then, he has recently apologized for that. Okay, we're giving that one.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But we keep an eye on him.
Exactly. Giving that one, but we keep an eye
Yes,
on you,
absolutely.
mate. So now he has come on, and it's taken a year or something, but it's just come to the fore because it's been formed. This ARC, which he said, I've got together, I knew that something had to be done to combat, this business. So I decided to talk to some wealthy people and see if they were of the same frame of mind as myself. And I was delighted to know that they were. These people were in America, they were in the Netherlands, they were in London, and they said, yes, we will give this organization money, and we will give it our time, because it is badly needed, some opposition towards this other lot that have got the tractor themselves. I thought, well, that's pretty good. At least somebody's going to do something.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I saw it and I investigated it very, very thoroughly with a lady called Amazing Polly. Brilliant. This woman is brilliant researcher, I tell you. Even you would be impressed by her, I tell you. You could be quite censorious at times, you can, but her, you would give her your attention. She's excellent. And through her, I learned a great deal. Jordan Peterson is being put on there by these wealthy people. And these wealthy people are all affiliated with, in some way or another, with George Soros. Sorry. I saw what they had to say at a big seminar that they gave, which they charged them £1,500 to get in. And it was a damn squid. Totally a damn squid, yes. I haven't got time to go through it today, but I will be bringing some more information to you next week on that.
That's great.
My love, that's all I've got today.
Well, that all is quite a bit. There's a lot to absorb there.
Oh, no, I have forgotten something.
Oh, dear.
Oh, very, very important. And this, listen, I've got to finish on a high note here, because these these cities, these 15-minute
Right,
cities.
right.
Now, a town called Wigglesfield. Do you know this?
Wigglesfield?
Wigglesfield.
Wigglesfield, no.
It's a little tiny place. I don't know where the hell it is, but
Well,
they
it
really,
sounds like it's Yorkshire or Lancashire with
yeah.
a name like
Now,
that. doesn't it?
18 months ago, they really stood up to this council and said, we want to hold a meeting about this. So the council said, all right, you can do it in the park. Then they said, no, you can't do it in the park. Then they said, okay, we'll do it over there. No, you can't do it over there. We're digging a swimming pool or something. You know, excuses, excuses. So a farmer stood up. He said, forget that. I've got a field. In we go. So they all went there with their sandwiches, you know, and belongings and things like that. And they stood up and they elected their own little sort of council, you
Yes.
know. So they went to this council and they said, look, we're going to pay, we're going to do this. We're not going to pay you any money. We're going to pay ourselves with this, what we have achieved here.
Right.
Didn't hear anymore. And then suddenly they are collecting this money. They're not giving their money to the elected council. They're doing it themselves, and they have done wonders. They've opened shops. Oh God, they're even not a banker or anything like that, but something, you know, to keep cash going. And the progress that they have made is absolutely incredible. I feel like getting on a train and going up there and seeing it. I really do. And this was on Richard Forbes' a channel, who, man, I have a lot of respect for, and he follows these 15-minute cities more than I do. So if there's any information to get, he's got it, you know. And he did a whole hour on these things, which was very good. So that's a bit of good news. There's a breakthrough there. Now, if only we could copy it here in Lewis.
The thing is that you take a look back to when you started this broadcast. What was there before?
Nothing.
Exactly.
People
So you-
didn't want to know what I was talking about.
So you've taken quite a step forward, and particularly since you know people have come to you and accepted what you're saying and found logic in your arguments. I don't believe in being negative about these things, and I think that you've achieved an awful lot, Liza. You're doing extremely well. If you keep
Thank
on
you.
this
Thank you.
this path, you know you'll encourage and improve on what you're doing. I think being self-doubting and sort of saying, "Oh, we haven't done much," is that's. I would stop that. I would start to say, "Look at what we've done," with that tone of voice. Look at what we've done. Right?
Well, next show I'll be unbearable, I tell you.
We're bloody unbearable now. So what's changed? Okay, there we go. Liza Page with the alternative view and a lot of alternative this week. She'll be back next week. And incidentally, we are loose enough so that if something really comes up that is of huge, huge importance that you need to know about straight away, we are flexible enough that Liza or any of our other correspondents can say, "Can I come in? Can I come on now, Keith, or within an hour, or today, or whatever?" So you always got up to date stuff. That's one thing about Mirador. Up to date stuff.
And we need all the help we can get.
There you go. Okay. You'll be on next Monday if you're not on before.
Uh-huh.
Right. I suspect with what's going on, you're going to be on before. Okay. Well, then we'll be back tomorrow morning. No, we won't. We will show some of these programs tomorrow. So you got a second bite of the cherry. And then on Wednesday, we're back with the whole the bunch of new programs, new news, and any reaction that we get to what we've said in various programs on Mirador today. So watch out for us at 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning. And in fact, we've got a new correspondent, John Prideaux, who is an expert on artificial intelligence. Is that right? Artificial intelligence, AI, and is going to look at some of the myths and some of the facts about it. So join us on Wednesday morning. Can't. Well, we're a bit like Bovril, not Bovril, Marmite.
That's it. You like us or loathe us.
Oh, but you can never forget us. Okie dokie. Let us say a toodle pip, and we'll be back with you on Wednesday morning. Say toodle pip.